say, man, I want to welcome you to another exciting edition of the War Zone. Y'all know I'm at ground zero, so I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana. Just finished speaking at a city council meeting, giving it to them the only way I know how to give it to them. So it is what it is. I'm going to turn it over to Demetrius. She'll get us crunk up. Y'all bear with me for a second.
So hello, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. We are kind of and Gary's in the field there, so our screen is a little bit different than it normally is, so bear with us here. So welcome to Tuesday night's edition of the War Zone. I hope everything is going great for you, as it is for us. And as I said, too, Gary is still out there in Lafayette, Louisiana, holding it down, boots on the ground, just really talking to the people, inspiring the people to not give up and to keep the pressure on. And so we'll obviously get a little bit more into the details with that. But one of the things that's trending in the news, I don't know if you guys got it. I'm sure you have, because a lot of people on Facebook have talked about it. Trump said that. Gary, can you mute your phone? Trump said that he in a way defended Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old that went to Kenosha and shot 3 people, killing 2 of them. And the other one that survived, I shot his arm off, I guess. And so Trump went on to say that it looks like he was defending himself. He was, running, trying to get away from them. And God forbid, if they would have caught him, they could have killed him. And so people are upset about that, and they should be upset about that. Trump is, not a good guy, and I'm not. I would never vote for Trump. But I mean, why are we surprised, right? It's election season. Trump is trying to, mobilize his base. His base is made up of a lot of racist individuals. And so that's a dog whistle to them, or not even a dog whistle, it's very overt. And saying, hey, you know what, no matter what, we riding this thing together. I don't care if y'all go out there and kill everybody. Just show up for me at the polls, okay? So to me, I think that's really what it's more about. He doesn't want to piss off his base. And so he says incendiary things like that.
Well, let me just add to that. In the news, they were talking about that very, very seldom, very, very real. Trump has a base of about 30%, 30, 35, low 40s. They're going to ride with him no matter what he does. Now, let's flip the coin. The Democrats. We don't really know what we got, because I did a show earlier today. And by the way, you guys, if you didn't see the 5-star, we are the only show on the internet. We're the only army that will send the 5-star general to the front line to do the fighting. Okay, so he was out there giving it to him, and we were watching it here in California. And if you guys missed it, go to his page and you will see the 5-star in action. But I'm going to say this in regards to what Trump is doing and his base. Exactly. His base is his base. He's got that number. Now, the question is, on the Democratic side, Joe Biden was up by 15 points. He is now, in some polls, they say they're neck and neck. The wild card, and I said this on my show today, never underestimate white supremacy. Birds of a feather flock together. And that's just a fact. Demetra?
I think that no doubt that Trump is fucked up for what he said. There's no other words that I could use for that. And I gotta watch myself. I see the baby there. Trump, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, because Trump is Trump. He is what he is. And it's people gonna rock with him no matter what. And honestly, like you said, Donovan, you know what you get with Trump, but you don't know what you get with Biden. Because Biden gonna play the game, and until something really happens, then it is what it is. But I mean, as you're talking about it, yeah, the white militia showed up out here today about 10 deep. That's all y'all got, is 10. Wasn't even no reason for us to get upset. But 10 deep with their Trump shirts on, Don't nobody really care. But I don't know why people would be surprised that Trump would say that. I actually had been waiting for him to say it because I knew it was coming. But it's just normal Trump, man.
Right. So it's normal Trump. So anyway, let's transition into something I saw not too long ago, a couple of days ago. I saw an article that said Biden is wanting black voters to show up for him at the polls like they did for that of Obama. Then the article also went on to say, but they're going to need black men in order to do that. It is said that 64% of black women voters, actually 64% of black women who are eligible to vote, and only 54% of black men who are eligible voters vote. Now, I posted about this yesterday because I was just thinking, I was like, well, isn't it ironic that you being Joe Biden, you need black men to show up to the polls for you. But did you think about that when, as he said out of his own mouth, I am the author, the creator of every major and minor crime bill since 1976. Wonder if he would have thought about that then, all of these crime bills that he was so ebullient to write, if he would have thought about it in 2020 for his third attempt as for the presidency of the United States, that he would actually need those black men, would he have wrote bills that incarcerated disproportionate amount of black men due to some of his bills that forced a mandatory minimum, meaning that they had to serve a minimum of said sentence, sent black men in droves away for minor drug offenses. Crack cocaine made the difference between crack and powder cocaine. It was harsher sentences for the crack cocaine. And so here he is in 2020 needing, Obama-esque numbers, if you will, in order to win. And we've heard Michelle Obama lament about that, saying, if black people would have showed up for Hillary Clinton the way they did for her husband, then Hillary Clinton would be the president. Well, we know that's not true. We know that it was the white women who let down Hillary Clinton because they were supposed to go be with her, I'm with her, and they went with Trump. And so, as always, black people get the blame and we get nothing either way, right? So we get nothing either way. But I just thought, how funny. Now all of a sudden you need black men, but you didn't need them all the way back in 1976 when you was locking them up.
I think that the Democrats are going to have a problem for one reason, because they don't campaign in the rural areas. We just saw this happen to Royce West, in the race that he just ran. And he lost because they did not campaign and get the votes out of the rural areas, the small little country towns. You know what I'm saying? So on the drive from Minneapolis to St. Louis 2 weeks ago, it's like we was riding through Trump country the whole time. These are country towns. You see the big Trump banners. You see the American flags. You see all that, man. But these people will not engage the people in those rural cities, and that's how I think it doesn't matter how he gets black men out to vote, because if Trump gets those people, especially in those slave states, game over.
So General, today you're out there and you're in the streets, you're on the front lines. Tell us, give us a synopsis of how the day went and where we're going tomorrow.
Before you get into that, I kind of want to finish this off. The other part that I left off, in regards to, and forgive me, but the correlation between Biden making all of those crime bills, he has made a lot of black men ineligible to vote, right? So I know there's a lot of states that if they do A, B, C, and D, they can vote. In some states that they can vote right away once their sentence is over with. But in 11 states, I believe it is they can't ever vote. They can't ever vote. And then it says in a lot of states, they got to pass, get through probation and parole, whichever one they're on, in order to be able to vote. Then they got to, there's a whole bunch of stuff they got to do
and then pay the fees and all that other stuff.
Right. And so what a lot of people aren't taking into consideration, what I don't think Biden is that the recidivism rate is very high, especially for Black men when they come out of prison. They don't have, the means and the resources to sustain themselves financially. And so sometimes they end up doing things to go back. And so obviously we know that's by design, but it's like, you talk about the chickens coming home to roost. The people you need are the people you screwed since 1976, and they can't even vote if they wanted to.
Absolutely. But so that's the locale with that. The Democrats are in trouble when you lose that many points in such a small amount of time. Don't sit there and tell me that, you have a winning ticket. You have a mass incarceration ticket. And with the atmosphere in the United States, that's not a recipe to win. But General, like I said, you were on the front lines today. Give us a synopsis of how to go and where we're going tomorrow.
It actually started a couple of days ago. I gave him 48 hours because the mayor, Josh Guillory, had not even called the family, to see how they were doing and give his condolences. And A.B. Rubin, city council member, reached out to me. And I talked to Pat Lewis. He's a council member. He's the chair of the council. I talked to Pat last night, and I reiterated that I've never seen a mayor in a situation like this not reach out to the family. And Josh ended up reaching out to the family yesterday. And I say, well, he definitely needs to apologize for the way things have been handled. So today in the city council meeting, he apologized publicly. So what I want to tell people is this. You may not like the way that I do it, but I get the results. So now the body, Trey's body is back in Lafayette. His funeral will be Saturday. And the thing is we starting to get a little movement. We still, right now I'm not stupid. I mean, the state police is not hard to figure this out. And I questioned today, okay, if you don't want to release the body cam footage, then why don't you bring the family in to see it privately? Why don't you do that much? And I told him, I say, you're an attorney and I am majoring in criminal justice, and there is enough probable cause for you to arrest those officers. I mean, right now, this city is on the edge. It's on the edge. And as like with a hurricane or a natural disaster, it ain't gonna happen here. It ain't gonna happen here. Say, man, we got our hands on these youngsters, man. And we're not taking our hands off the youngsters. But you know what I like about them, Demetri and Donovan? They get it. It's not a big city. Okay, so this is what we need to do. Stop spending our money. They are committed to doing that. You see what I'm saying? And if they can affect this economy, they can get what they want. Now, they're asking for a lot of things, so I gave them the last piece. You need a police oversight board with subpoena power. That's what you're missing. That's what you're missing right there. So, I mean, the white militia, they got their panties in a bunch right now. They show up 10 deep. Say, man, I don't even sweat when it's just 10 people, man. Now, if you showed up about 50 or 60, I'd have to make a phone call. But 10, that's all you got is 10? Man, 5-star ain't sweating at me. So, I'm enjoying the atmosphere. A lot of good people out here, black, white, whatever. It's a rainbow of people. And they just sick and tired of the racism. They're sick and tired of the racist police department of Lafayette, Louisiana. It's been that way forever. And they just want the changes, man. And if they don't give it to them, they going to have some problems. And that's what I'm trying to help them avoid.
So what was the purpose of the militia being out there? Did they say something? Were they just there to make the presence known?
I think they came to try to intimidate old 5-star, but I was in the building, so I made sure that I came out the building.
But they never said anything.
They ain't gonna say nothing. They punks. That I was telling somebody, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Them old scare tactics of 1960 ain't working in 2020, man. It ain't working in 2020, man. We ain't doing the water hose thing. We ain't doing the dogs. You know, you can't scare us like that. You know, so I don't. They realistically, they were very, very nice, which that's what they needed to be.
So anyway, we'll come back to that. I think we should also discuss the murder of Dijon Kizzee last night in Los Angeles. Another black man was shot, I believe it was by the sheriff department, 20 times in his back. He was riding his bike, and I guess they tried to say he was in violation of something, riding his bike. And I guess when they asked him to stop and all of that, they, being the police, the sheriff, said that they heard a gun drop. They thought they heard a gun drop. And, you know, obviously, you know, not obviously, but the people around, because the other thing is they don't have to wear body cams. And so they were not wearing body cams. But a lot of the witnesses that were there are saying there was no gun involved. There was no gun.
I'll be here long as I need.
That there was no gun involved. This is what the witnesses were saying, but the sheriff department is saying, well, there was a gun, and so there's kind of some mixed signals here. But anyway, the operative words are
real quick though, Demetria. Where's the body cam? Where's the body cam?
They don't have to wear them. They're not mandated to wear them, so that's why they didn't have them on, I guess. But we know that Los Angeles, you know, police officers, sheriffs, they are some of the most notorious thugs known to man as far as police officers are concerned. So I don't know why they weren't mandated to wear it, but the operative words are that they shot Dijon Kizzee 20 times in his back. In his back. And the other part of that is they left him face down in the dirt for hours before they moved his body. And so, again, they're going forth with the lie that, oh, you know, we thought he had a gun and, you know, all this other stuff, but they unloaded 20 bullets into his back.
But see, Demetria, that's exactly why you have to vote Democrat, because Joe Biden, who is part of the problem of why police feel emboldened to shoot anybody and do anything that he wants to do. He's the author of all this stuff that incentivizes states to do what they're doing. He said on his platform, I went and read it. He said, I'm going to give police more money. I'm not for repealing qualified immunity. I'm not for any of that. I'm for the status quo. The status quo. The status quo right now is shooting black people down in the street in their back. You got to vote for the Democrats. You just have to vote. Because you know what? Our ancestors died so that we can have the slave master continue to brutalize and kill us.
You know, a lot of people, they run around here with this false narrative that black people need to be afraid. You know, whether it's police, whether it's militia, whether it's whatever. I see my good friend, the good doctor, Abdul Halim Muhammad, is on this thread. We engage these youngsters every day. You may show up to a scene, it might be 200 police officers. It's more than 200 youngsters, man. And you got to be careful what you wish for, because this shooting these people in the back and thinking folks going to keep taking this. It's not going to keep happening, man. You can already see the uprising. And you can hide off in your suburbs while this is going on. But the war come to your suburbs. You know, it is what it is, man. And I just think that, and I'm like you, if you want to vote Democrat, just be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, and I'm not telling people to vote Republican or Democrat. I'm telling you that the lesser of two evils is not going to work for black people regardless. It's not going to fix our problems. We have to fix our problems. We have to take control of our communities. We have to police our communities. It's obvious that the police don't want to do anything but murder our communities. So we have to start taking control of our communities, man. And if we don't, then this will keep happening. But if we stand up and we stand up the right way, it'll stop. Trust me. And I'm gonna say this here, and I don't care who get mad. If them youngsters get loose across this country, they gonna tear your ass up. Cause y'all done pumped this dope into our neighborhoods. You done pumped all these illegal guns into our neighborhoods, and you really think these boys ain't strapped? See, some of these kids ain't got nothing to live for. That's the way they feel. I think they got everything to live for. But some of them actually believe they don't have anything to live for. So if you want this shit, keep doing what you're doing. And when you have to really deal with it, you're going to be more frustrated than a woman in a school trying to teach a classroom where they labeled a bunch of regular kids special ed. You're going to have a problem. And it's slowly starting to become a major problem. But didn't somebody tell us all this beforehand? Didn't the minister try to tell them this was going to happen? You didn't want to listen. I ain't going to denounce him because the man speak the gospel, man.
Absolutely. And I agree with you all in that and it's just a fact, the people that we vote for the most, Democrats, they have done nothing. Like, again, we know that Trump is going to be Trump. We know that he is, feeding his base of racists because that's what he is. And so he's not hiding who he is, right? But the problem we have, especially with the Democrats, is that they are hiding who they are, right? Also, as Donovan said, Biden wants to give more money to the police, and so does Kamala. They are pro-police, very pro-police. They don't have a problem with it. And so we see, and that somebody made a good point, now somebody gets shot 5 times or 7 times in the back, then 10. Now 20 is like, well, what next? And so me personally, as I always say, I'm going to hold my vote. I'm not voting for either one of them. Now, I did watch an interview with Kanye West. He was on Nick Cannon's show called Cannon's Class. And, to me, I think...
text message from Brother Jamil.
I think people should watch the interview because Kanye is speaking a lot of facts. He was talking about how Democrats are pro-choice, right?
You have 2 new text messages.
We know being pro-choice disproportionately affects us in the Black community.
We have 3 new text messages.
We have more Planned Parenthood clinics in our neighborhood. And this is what he was saying. And this is why his party is called the birthday party, because he feels like everybody should have the right to life. Every child should have a chance to be born. And so, like I said, he was kicking facts saying that affects us. He says 1,000 Black babies are aborted every day. 1,000 Black babies are aborted every day. And we talk about this a lot, that our community, Black community, has not moved in population since the 60s. And that's one of the reasons why. And so we need to start voting for people who are going to be addressing those things. He also talked about Margaret Sanger, who was, the queen, if you will, of the eugenics program that was specializing in getting rid of Black people, sterilizing Black people because we became a burden to society. And these are their words. After slavery, in slavery, we were an asset. And then afterwards, we became a burden. So even into 2020, we are still only 13% of the population due to the tactics that, to be honest, the Democrats they champion. A woman should have the right to choose, but it's affecting our community. And so we need to think about those things. And I will say this. Bobby is saying Kanye is a distraction. And I want to ask you, a distraction compared to what? What is he a distraction compared to? So this is, I'm going to be good. Okay, I'm going to be good. See, this is the problem with us as Negroes. We love the white man's ice. We love the white man's advice. Biden ain't told you he was gonna do nothing for you. Not that even with a black woman on his team, he ain't told you he's gonna do anything for you. Not nothing. He gonna give you this lift every voice thing, but it includes everybody else, and it's really a way to spend reparations for us instead of writing the check that we deserve as ADOS. But you mad at a Kanye, calling Kanye a distraction, but you big up, and this is what I said on my post earlier. It just seems like to me, it would behoove the Biden supporters to try to convince him to give black people something for our vote instead of fighting with other black people and trying to get us to vote for Biden. Why do you want us to vote for nothing? But to call Kanye a distraction shows to me that you're not even willing to take in new information at all.
I mean, the truth come in different forms. It come from different people. A lot of people tell me every day that my delivery is a problem. Well, I tell them don't listen to how I deliver it, but just to listen to the message. And if Kanye is speaking the truth, he's just speaking the truth. I mean, I don't trust Biden. He's lied too many times. He's done too much stuff for me to ever just think that, oh, well, I got to get Trump out. And I know it's messed up, man, but at the same time, I don't think he is a distraction to me. I think he's an option. He's just an option. And everybody doesn't have to vote for Biden or Trump. They can vote for Angela. They can vote for Howie. They can vote for Kanye. They can vote for whoever they choose to vote for according to how it affects them on a daily basis. I would never feel comfortable passing my vote off to Joe Biden when I still have friends that are locked up in jail on weed charges. No, I'm not cool with that, man. And I don't want to lose any more friends behind it, but if I do, then so be it. So be it. I mean, but I don't think he's a distraction. This is my opinion. I think he's just another option. And Bobby said that Kanye speaks facts, but not worthy of, I guess, of being president. Well,
the bar has been lowered.
Trump was speaking gibberish, and they said he wasn't worthy of being president. They said he had no shot. And I kept telling people, I didn't even know y'all didn't, Demetri and Donovan. He got a shot because he in the race. Now, Kanye may not have a shot because he's not in every state. But, I mean, a black man running for the presidency of the United States is what it is for me. He's doing what he wants to do. He feels he can serve, do what you do. He's doing the same thing that I did when I decided to run for school board. So, okay, I'm going to just get up in here and I'm going to give it the best I got. And it is what it is. I'm going to try. So I don't fault him. I'm not mad at him. And I'm not a big Kanye fan. I like a little bit of his music. But, I mean, he has every right to run just like everybody else.
Absolutely. Here's my thing. And, I know everybody is stuck on the Republican Democrat thing, even though you have other options. You can write yourself in for all we care. But it's your vote. But your vote is valuable, because if it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't be trying to get it. But here's my thing with that. If the Democrats really wanted to win and overwhelmingly get that black man's vote and get the millennials vote and, all this other stuff, all they would have to do, this is day one. Joe Biden, that's all he's got to say. Now, remember, he has all these black women advisors. Okay? Why aren't they telling him, you want that black vote? Forgive student debt across the board. Free the weed. That's all, all these things, all these platforms he's got to say just to get the vote, to make sure he wins. Now, when he gets in there, it's going to be a different story, which he can do, because that is politics. However, do you really think they want to win? I just don't see them even trying at this point, because you know why? There's more money in the opposition than there is actually being in power. Because remember, Trump even told you guys, I gave the both sides. It's one party, the ruling party. So,
well, if you can put a real estate agent in as president, a reality star in as president, and be satisfied with his results, I think we could live with a rapper any day of the week.
I just want to know, what is it that we have? And I listen to Kanye. I like Kanye. When I listened to that interview today as part one of the interview or the conversation with Nick Cannon, I was like, there's nothing wrong with Kanye. There's nothing wrong with him at all. Now, did he have a moment everyone, a couple of times? Yeah, sure. But if you really listen to him, he is really a coherent, smart individual. But I don't understand why we have such a problem with listening to our own people. Now, I know we got duped with Obama. Okay, let's just say what it is. Obama duped us twice. But Kanye, he understands Black people. And listen, I'm not even trying to big up Kanye, tell you guys to vote for him. But I get tired of seeing people say, oh, he's a distraction. Oh, Kanye is crazy. And it's like, well, crazy in comparison to what? Did you guys, have you heard Biden speak lately? He can't even put two words together that make sense. But yet y'all Negroes are going to run to the polls in droves to vote for Joe Biden, who has said that he is against all of the things that we as Black people need. And as I said, his mind is like mashed potatoes when he speaks.
Let me say this. They say he's crazy and he's mentally ill. He got more money than Trump. Kanye is a fucking billionaire. You don't become a billionaire being crazy. You don't do that. I'm on my show right now. Give me a second. I'm on my show right now. I'm on the show right now. Yeah, you don't become a billionaire.
Be careful out there.
Oh no, them my people there. They got me. They got some boudin in their pocket or something. But you don't become a billionaire by being crazy. It doesn't happen. I'm sorry. Now he may think differently than you, but shit, I do too. You think I'm crazy because I won't go in there and push that button for Biden? You think I'm a Trump lover because I don't like Biden? Man, Kanye ain't crazy. Kanye might be the smartest one out of all three of them.
Kanye is very intelligent, and not only is he a billionaire, but I think he said at one point in time, all the things that he has, all of the business ventures are worth $5 billion. So Kanye has brought him, he's brought himself up from nothing. So to me, it seems like Kanye would be able to, understand Black people better, I would think, but just continuing to vote for old white dudes who aren't even saying they're going to do anything for you is crazy. And, Gary made a good point in saying, he alluded to people not being your friend. It's amazing to see our friends and families flip out, especially with people like us who said we're holding our vote like we are the devil. How dare you? Oh, that's a vote for Trump. And as Angela Walker said, it's not a vote for Trump. It's a vote for whoever you're casting your vote for. I have a right to vote or not to vote. I'm not going to vote unless I get something for it. I don't understand why people are having a hard time making that make sense.
Say, Joe done made a lot of promises, man. A lot of people going to be working for Joe if he win. A lot of pastors going to make some money. Some mayors going to get put on his, on his team. Yeah, that's why they screaming this, man. But I say vote according to your conscience and what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I've said it before. I was living and I was coherent when Ronald Reagan was the president. Donald Trump is a walk in the park compared to Ronald Reagan, man. That man is a walk in the park. Ronald Reagan can say, I was talking to somebody today, and they just said, man, if Trump, and actually I ran into a white guy at the gas station. and we were talking. He recognized me 5-star, and we started talking, and he said, "Man, you know what Trump problem is?" I say, "What you think it is?" He said, "If he was an elegant speaker, if he could speak elegantly, a lot of people would love him. They would love him because some of the things the dude say is right on the money. But he say it's so messed up that you don't want to hear. He gonna put some race stuff in it when it ain't. Trump is the type of person you could tell him, say, Donald, I want you to repeat after me. The cow is brown. That he gonna take that, it's gonna go into his brain, and when it come out his mouth, it's like diarrhea. Instead of the cow being brown, the cow is brown because it jumped over the wall of Mexico and they brought dope over here. Trump gonna say whatever come to his mind. But ain't nobody asked him to say all that. So I know them people in there that write his speeches, they be cringing when this dude grab a microphone. Because he ain't gonna say nothing they done put on their paper. He gonna take bullet points, he gonna run with it, then all of a sudden, that was a very, very bad problem. I know they didn't write that.
Trump speech that he did at the RNC last week. People said how boring
Chris,
it was, and it was
I'm on my show.
dry.
I'm in my car. I'm still up here. Yeah. Go ahead.
So people were saying how dry and boring Trump's speech was. And a lot of the pundits, if you will, were saying because they kept him on, it was written for him. And, you know, he didn't go off the script at all, which is what he usually does. And so, yeah, people like Trump, though, when he cuts loose. You know, a lot of his supporters, like, he says what's on his mind. He says exactly what he feels and, you know, all that other stuff. And let's see here, Bobby. I know you didn't say he was crazy. You did say he was a distraction, so I wasn't necessarily talking about you. But I saw a comment on here as well. Let me find it. He says,
well, I have a quick comment, and I just want to pose this to the people in the comment section as well. And Demetria, maybe you can answer this. 5-star, maybe you can answer it. He said something during the DNC that I thought was like really, really factual. He said that he did more for Black people in 3 years than Joe Biden did in 47. And now all my friends that are Joe Biden supporters, when I asked them about it, they couldn't tell me one thing, not one, that Joe Biden did for Black people in the 47 years he's been in Washington. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I was actually going to read Steve's comment. How you doing, by the way? He's from YouTube, and he says, Biden and the rest of the Democrats take the Black vote for granted. Biden is a fool. He's been in Washington for 47 years and has done nothing for Black people. And I would always ask people, and I would ask now, where is the lie in that? Where is the lie?
There is no lie in it. He's telling the truth. The man ain't did a goddamn thing in 47 years. Not 4 years, not 7 years, but 47. 47 years, you ain't done nothing. And now all of a sudden, you gonna fix it for us. Joe, I got some beachfront property right now in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. And then, of course, you hear a lot of Black voters say, well, let's just get him in there. Get him in there first. We got to get him in there. Get Trump out of office. And then when we get him in there, we can hold him accountable. And then so the next train of thought is, well, we ain't held nobody accountable yet. What makes you think we going to hold Joe Biden accountable? You haven't held Joe Biden accountable in 47 years. And he bragged about 90% of Black voters in Delaware have always, for the most part, voted for him when he was running for Senate. So he hasn't done anything for them either. But they continue to vote for him in droves. And so you got to remember, there's only 300 Black people in Delaware. I mean, come on. And Elijah, how you doing? You say Joe Biden was never a president. No, he wasn't, but he ran. This is his third attempt. The other two times, obviously, were failed attempts. But this is his shining moment. Now, get this. This is his shining moment at the age of 77, the oldest candidate to run for the presidency of the United States. And I'm not trying to talk bad about Joe Biden, you know, or be mean or anything, but so I think, you know, the lights are on, but nobody's home. Because if you ever listen to him speak, it's like, huh? Now, I know we have those moments with Trump, but I'm saying, like, with Joe Biden, it seems like there's something organically wrong. I don't know, you know, I don't want to call it out there, but this is the other part. Now, you guys tell me what you think. You know what's really effed up? What's really effed up is the Democratic establishment know good hell well some may write for Biden, and that's who they send it to the White House. But you know what? If that man don't last 4 years, no president.
But that was their tactic. You understand? They're trying to act like they for us, but the man just said is they were the start of somebody was going to shoot one of us. So they came over there just to try to intimidate everybody. This ain't my ancestors. So why is you saying two different views on stuff? First he talking about
still over here?
So the police just told him to go back over there.
But our people still over there.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me finish this shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Now, Elijah said Joe Biden was never a president. So here's my question. Well, why everybody around here dick riding Kamala then? Because she ain't going to be the president.
She will be if Joe Biden doesn't make it for 4 years. Now, I'm not saying the dude is...
And that's why they not going to vote. They not going to vote that ticket because they don't want her in that seat.
Yeah,
I don't. And let me tell you something. I'm all for women in politics. I'm all for that. No questions about it. I love it. You know, but I don't see white America accepting a black woman as president. I don't see that.
Did they accept a white woman as president?
Nope. So you didn't want the master's wife, so you definitely ain't gonna take the cook.
Man, you know Kamala ain't no cook. No, but
well, Kamala might be kin to the mayor of Lafayette, Josh Guillory, because we found out today his daddy black, so we don't know what he is either.
This Raymond Brown. Let me address Raymond Brown. Says, Dimitri, you need to stop trying to be like Candace Owens. Candace Owens need to be like me, boo. Okay? Ain't nothing about me want to be like Candace Owens. Candace Owens could never even run in the same gym with me. Go ahead, Donovan.
Exactly. The Democrats are so desperate. They are so desperate to get the black vote without giving us nothing. Did you guys see Kamala Harris, a 50-something-year-old woman, on the Brandy and Monica challenge, and she was telling people how important it is to vote and stuff? Dimitri.
I'm going to tell you, Kamala don't listen to no Monica. Kamala don't listen to no Brandy. They be sitting in the highs listening to Frank Sinatra. She don't listen to that. Right, they going to do anything black right now to pander for that black vote.
Exactly.
That if she could do a show with Lil Kiki and pull Fat Pat out the grave right now, she'll do it.
That's what I'm saying. This is the playbook. Do you see how they pander to black people? Remember, she was down with Cardi B doing her little dance with Cardi B, and then she was at the Breakfast Club. I mean, aren't you guys tired of all the symbolism and the thing that you show that they're down? Where's the policy? Show us what you're going to do when you get into office. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see the cooning and the step and fetching. I don't want to see any of that. Tell me what you're going to do. What is the policy? Trump is out, moving forward. What is the Democratic Party going to do to fix this country? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
but no,
you guys. She be dancing, but you know, she didn't come on down in Louisiana because she could put the monkey on a stick. That's a dance. She good at that.
Yeah, I don't even know what a monkey on a stick is. Kamala
know what it is.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But yeah, I think we need to get past the point of people showing up and playing the saxophone, talking about I got hot sauce in my bag, and oh yeah, I listen to you know what I'm saying, Fife. Y'all remember when she said that in the Breakfast Club? And Fife has been going what, 2-3 years or so now, and she was talking about Fife from A Tribe Called Quest like he was still in the building. So we need to get past allowing people to. Like, why would Monica and Brandy even allow her to pop her head up on a verses? That's like, we came here for the music. We didn't come here for, a stomp speech or whatever it was she was trying to do. But we need to get past the symbolism. So what? She can, bust a mean two-step. And is that going to put any money in our pockets? Is that going to fix our neighborhoods? Is it going to free our Black people out of these prisons? Is any of that going to do anything for us?
No, it is not going to do anything for us, and it hasn't done anything for us. So that's why we got to do this thing a different way this time. And you coined the phrase, hold your vote. And if y'all not feeling it, hold your vote. We just not giving them away no more. I'm sorry, it's not happening anymore. We're not, those of us that are woke, we're not just giving our votes away anymore. You come with anything you want to come with. You can see we ain't relenting. It's not gonna happen. We're not getting nothing out the deal, man. How many times a woman gonna keep going out with a broke man? Sooner or later you get tired of that, man. I ain't finna keep doing that, man. How many times you don't get a coochie away to the broke man? If you ain't getting nothing out the deal, then you don't need to keep doing it. And this dry wop that Joe coming through the door with him and Kamala. No, we ain't doing it.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
And I hate to say that, but I mean, it's just straight effery what they trying to do right now. And I can't fathom even trying to digest dealing with them people, man.
Right, I saw a comment up here. I don't know. Oh, Ron Terrell, how you doing? He says, do y'all think we will ever be considered equal and treated fair in our lifetime? Well, first of all, we got to treat ourselves equal and fair. Now, what do I mean by that? Gary was just out there on the bullhorn not too long ago admonishing Black people for not spending money in our own communities. And so if you really, and my friend Jonelle, he says this all the time. He says, you protect what you love. And so if we as Black people truly love ourselves, we wouldn't give 97% of our money away to somebody else. And so we can't keep asking people to treat us fair and equally until we start treating ourselves that way. But, as far as, these civil rights, I call it the false idea of civil rights, because as Marcus Garvey and Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, we got to be seen as human first. Until Black people are even seen as human, we can't even go about the business of civil rights. In this country that a dog, you kill a dog, that is a federal crime. Animals have more rights than Black people. They're still debating back and forth whether to make lynching a hate crime or, to actually make lynching itself a federal crime. Well, I thought lynching was already Capital One murder, but that's more symbolism that they give us, because the minute they pass it, they're going to scream it to the high heavens. Oh, we passed the anti-lynching bill for you Black people. And what are we going to do? We're going to get in the street and do the wobble. We're going to celebrate that they made this law, but it still is not going to stop the wholesale murder of Black people by police officers until we start to see ourselves as equal. And who cares what they think about us? If we have our money in our pocket, let's take the Asians, for example. You don't hear Asians up in arms about the political process the way we are, because they have a strong economy, and so they have everything they need already. They don't care what people think about them and how other people see them. They're like, shoot, we running this right now.
Well, Shirley Nisi Greer said, honestly, y'all can hold your vote. That's cool. But why why y'all just tearing down people? I'm proud to see a sister nominated for vice president. We tearing her down because she ain't did shit for black people. She incarcerated black people. So how in the hell am I putting somebody
Exactly.
down by speaking the truth? She sat on evidence and hid it and let people die on death row. So how am I speaking down on somebody when I'm telling the truth? Y'all get caught up on that symbolism thing. Oh, the black man, they doing this and they don't give a fuck about us, man. And you want the white man to care about us. No, it don't work like that. So if you feel on her because she ain't did shit.
Yeah, and here's my thing. Whenever it seems like people are bringing out the truth and the facts on Kamala Harris, a lot of black women lose their shit. And I'm sorry to use that language, but they lose their shit because it seems like you're attacking feminism. The facts are the facts. Now, Dimitri and I live here in California. We experienced a Kamala Harris regime and what she did. Okay, so, I'm glad you're proud to see a sister being nominated for VP, but we showed you another sister that was nominated before she was. And then she told us there was more sisters before that. So why aren't you proud of those women who were nominated first? But see, Shirley, and I talked to Shirley lady, but Shirley, that's what I'm saying.
It looked like Donovan froze up a little bit. But how did that work out for us, Shirley? Being proud of a black man running for president. We were all proud to have, Barack Obama as a president because we thought he was actually going to help black people. Him being black, we being black, I think it's kind of logical for us to think that. But we got to get past the symbolism. Kamala is symbolism. Not that long ago, Kamala didn't even like Joe Biden. She accused him of being a racist. And before that, she believed the women who said, accused him of being sexually inappropriate with. Now that's her best friend. That doesn't bother you at all. Like, we're not talking about, well, I like baked chicken and he likes fried chicken. We're talking about stuff like, potential rape and racism. Now, all of a sudden, she can forgive those things? Do you really think that she cares about black people? Like the other day, I saw an interview with her, and somebody asked her about black men, and she threw in all men. She talked about all men. Again, you guys have seen a notorious clip of her being asked about reparations. She says, no, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. But I saw an article this morning that in Miami, she's going to have this program for Hispanics. But she's doing something for them specifically, but she won't commit to doing something for black people who she keeps saying that she is. And I believe her. I believe she's a black woman. But why won't you specifically do something for your people, but you continuously do stuff for other people? So we got to get past the symbolism. So what? She's a black woman. What is only her being a black woman going to do for you as a black woman? If you can name me one thing other than getting Trump out of office, what is Kamala going to do for you as a black woman other than getting Trump out of office? You know what? I always do this. I lower the bar. Name a half a thing she's going to do for you because she's a black woman. Just a half a thing.
Well, Shirley also said this is the new future. You got to give somebody a chance with whatever she did that is in the past. A person cannot keep being condemned for the rest of their life. Okay, so can you let R. Kelly out of jail? Can you let Bill Cosby out of jail? Matter of fact, can you empty the penitentiaries then since we're giving all these people second chances? And can we do that, please? No. You okay? So if you want to look past her past, then can y'all stop speaking about the Central Park Five and Donald Trump? See, when I say that, oh, he a Trump supporter. No, I'm just telling you the real. You want to give passes to the ones you want to give passes to. But if we're going to be real with it, let's give them all a pass. I would love for you to empty them penitentiaries out because there's a bunch of brothers shouldn't even be in there now. Can we give them all their rights back? Can they vote? Can they go get a gun now? What about the women that had to kill their abusers that ended up in prison? Can we give them their rights back? Can we give them a gun? We shouldn't condemn them. Santonia Brown, she should have never went to jail. Come on, man. We got to keep it 100, man. Yeah, can we and last but not least, can we free Big Meech? Can we send Big Meech back home? He was just selling cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, since we're on this big time forgiveness tour, you know, let's forgive everybody. Let's forgive everybody for all the wrong that they've done. And hell, why don't you leave Trump in office another 4 years since you want to be out there forgiving people? And I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Why do we want to continue to put our weight and our votes behind people who aren't even promising us anything at all? At all. She keeps telling us she being Kamala since we're talking about her. What she's not going to do for us. But we need a Kamala. We need a black woman in the White House. Ooh, it's just, it makes me feel so good. Oh, it just shows a lot to, to little black girls, little brown girls of having a woman in the, black woman in the White House. It's like, but tell those little black and brown girls the truth about what this black woman did to potentially their daddies and their granddaddies and their cousins and their brothers. Tell them the whole story. Don't just sell them that false bill of goods that, it's a black woman. Like, we need to have another reason to be proud of her in the White House other than she's just a black woman. Like, when are we going to get it? And that's why a lot of our communities are jacked up, because we keep voting for people just because they're black. But them being black is not getting us anything.
Raymond Brown say Trump's for white folks. Trump us for white folks. Okay, I don't understand what that means. But the thing is, man.
He said Trump is for white folks.
Trump is for white folks. So who is Biden for? Who is Biden for? Y'all think because Joe done come out here and said a couple of nigger words and some nigger lingo that Joe he's not Obama, man. I'm sorry, but he ain't. And people talk all that craziness about Trump. Wasn't Trump kicking it with Puffy and Don King and Jesse Jackson? And, at that time, Trump was a Democrat. Trump played y'all. Trump played all y'all. Trump just wanted to get in. He didn't give a damn what he went in as. And he got in, and now he's running this real live reality show. D, we're going to have to cut this short. I got to get back out here. The militia's still out here. But tomorrow we'll be back on the regular time.
All right, you guys have a great day. We will see y'all tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock Central Time. You guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let us know, and we would love to address them. In the meantime, you guys have a great evening.
All right, Mama.